So today's recipe that we're going to be cooking is Seared Okney Scallops with a caramelised cauliflower puree, some sea fennel and a little bit of pickled golden raisins as well. So to make this recipe we're going to be using Okney scallops, some beautiful cauliflowers, nutritional yeast, milk, double cream, white wine, some dark roasted chicken stock, creme fraiche, we've got some vegetable oil, some flaked almonds, butter, shallots, garlic, golden raisins, a little touch of saffron, some sea fennel and some fresh orange juice as well. So for this recipe I'm going to be using the Global Hikaeme knife dock set, including this beautiful utility knife which is ideal for the scallops and taking them out of the shell. So we're going to start with our beautiful hand-dived scallops and we're going to shuck those using the Global utility knife. So we take the knife and we run that down the flat edge of the shell, and what that does is just going to release that scallop from the shell, and then using a spoon we're going to pop it out of the other side of the shell. Then we take our thumb and we run that down the inside of the scallop meat, and what that does, it just releases that beautiful white scallop meat from the rest of the membrane. And then we just rinse it really quickly in some cold water just to remove any bits of grit, any bits of shell, and then we just leave them on a little bit of kitchen towel just to drain. So for our sauce for this dish, we're making a toasted almond velouté. So first of all, we're just going to dry fry our almonds just to caramelise them really nicely. We're going to thinly slice our shallots and garlic and then add them to a pan with a little bit of butter, caramelise those up and then add some white wine. We're going to reduce that white wine to a syrup and then add our chicken stock. Again, we're going to reduce this down to a glaze just to intensify that flavour. And then we're going to add our toasted almonds, our cream and our creme fraiche. We give that a good simmer for about 5 minutes just to infuse those flavours, and then we're going to pass that through a sieve ready for service. So next up we need to make our cauliflower puree. So we're going to take our Global vegetable knife and chop the cauliflower finely. Then we're going to melt our butter in a large saucepan, add the cauliflower and roast it until it starts to caramelise. Then we're going to add our nutritional yeast, our cream and our milk, and we're going to cook that cauliflower until it's tender and it will caramelise and get a really nice golden colour. Then we need to transfer that into the blender and we're going to blend that until it's nice and smooth, and then we can pop that in a pan ready for service. For our sea vegetables, we just need to prepare them really simply by washing them off in a little bit of cold water, and then we can store them in the fridge ready for service. For the orange soaked raisins, we're going to take our raisins, place them in a saucepan, and then we're going to pour over the orange juice and a little pinch of saffron. We're going to bring that up to the boil, and then we're just going to allow those to steep for a couple of hours just to rehydrate and take on all those flavours. So when it comes to service for this dish, we need to heat up a little bit of oil in a non-stick frying pan, and then we're going to season our scallop. We're going to place it into the pan carefully and make sure that slanted edge is up the edge of the pan so it just gets an even cook all the way around. We're going to cook that for about 1.5 minutes on each side, so just flip it once it's caramelised nicely. We're going to add some butter and just baste it over the top, and then finish it with a beautiful little bit of lemon juice just to add a nice bit of acidity to the scallop. And then we can let that rest. Whilst the scallop's resting, we're going to warm up our velouté and our puree, and we're going to quickly blanch our sea vegetables in some salted boiling water. And then it's time for plating. So onto the plate with our puree first. Then we're going to arrange our sea vegetables and our raisins on top of that. We're going to slice our scallop into 3 and then place that on top. Then we're going to spoon that velouté over the top, ready to serve. So here we have a seared Okney scallop with cauliflower puree, sea vegetables and a toasted almond velouté, and we're pairing that with the sheaf cutlery.